Welcome back to the Blueprint. I'm your host, Mohammed Imam, aka MIVisuals. I'm a graphic designer and a podcaster, and I've been doing this YouTube thing now for about 6 weeks with my boy Ray. We also have a podcast called the Blueprint Podcast where we talk about the things we talk about on this channel here, but in a more detailed level. We talk about how to get clients, negotiating with clients, hearing different creatives tell their stories about how they became creatives, how they thrived in this industry, their setbacks, their come ups, and all these little things. But for today, we're gonna do a little story time. The Blueprint. So today, I just want to talk about how I had COVID and it messed up all my plans for my New Year's resolutions. I'm not someone who really cares too much about resolutions like that, but I'm huge about goals. I love setting goals. I love the whole idea of a fresh restart every month. There's a new month every week, every Monday. You know how it is. On Monday, I'm gonna start going to the gym again. And yeah, when it comes to the new year, oof, that gets me going. But yeah, so with the end of 2020, which was an absolutely brutal year, I was thinking, okay, 2021, onto more onto bigger things, onto brighter things, and I had a whole bunch of ideas set in stone. I had bought my new journal. I had thought about what I'm going to do this year. I wanted to learn Arabic. I wanted to travel more. I wanted to learn, like, be a bit more fluent in my mother tongue in Somali and Bravanese or Chimini. And I wanted to do a lot more than that. I wanted to become a better artist, a better creative. I wanted to sell more. I wanted to sell merch. I wanted to do all these different things. And then I got COVID. And that was like literally towards the end of the year. I booked my Christmas leave, and yeah, I booked my Christmas leave, and I'm thinking, yo, New Year's coming. I'm gonna have some time off. I'm gonna rest, recuperate. I'm gonna make some nice videos, and yeah, I'm gonna hit the ground running in 2021. And then yeah, I ended up getting COVID. I can't lie, it was not easy at all. It was brutal. It beat me up, kicked my ass. And yeah, I had that around December the 20th. I was meant to record a podcast with a special guest and do like a bunch of videos and stuff. And yeah, it literally took me out fully. Like I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't do nothing for like a good 2 weeks. Even now, I'm kind of recovering from it, and speaking continuously isn't something I'm too comfortable with. But here we are today. But yeah, I just want to talk about how it messed up my goals, but it also kind of gave me some time to reflect and some time to think about what I want to do in the new year, but like in a more meaningful way. Because for me, like all these goals are something that are good, something good for my personal development, and putting them out there to you guys holds me accountable. I'm not too afraid of that, but yeah, I felt like there was a lot of times where I would set these goals and I wouldn't meet them. I would kind of like set them and then keep on pushing them back, like maybe doing a little bit every time, and that's good. Like consistent little efforts add up to a wider range of things that build you up to where you are today. And I'm kind of happy with my progress I've made in the last couple of years as a creative, but there's always something that's niggling at me. There's always some kind of anxiety, some kind of issue where I'm not really at my best. This year, I just kind of wanted to focus on three things. One was consume with intention. I'm going to talk about that in a bit more detail soon. Two was become a reliable person to call on. Like if it's a life or death situation and you have to call someone to pick up the phone right now, I'm not your guy. I'm telling you right now, like I will not pick up the phone no matter what. Like it's really bad, and it's a huge cause of anxiety for me. So I'm gonna be talking about how I'm gonna beat that real soon. Well, how I plan to beat that, and I'm getting better at it. But I know a lot of people suffer from like phone call anxiety. So we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. The third one is be someone who always does what they say they're gonna do. Otherwise, just don't say it at all. I'm someone who likes to promise a lot. Someone who doesn't like to fail people. I like to make sure that when someone calls upon me, I help them out. I do what I can for them. But a lot of the time, I say yes to too many things, and that is a huge issue. And a lot of people, like creatives, and a lot of people who like have certain responsibilities on their shoulders in terms of family, friends. They're seen as the person who's reliable and can do certain things, and yeah, you have a lot of skill, so I want you to do something for me, and I'm always saying yes, 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 yes. And that has, and like sometimes I find myself promising things, and I'm just like, why did I say that? I'm like, why did I say that? But yeah, so those three things I kind of want to talk about. Okay, so number one, consume with intention. We're all subscribed to a whole bunch of things: Netflix, Amazon Prime. Now a lot of people are onto Disney Plus, I think, Crunchyroll, YouTube, Audible, like a whole bunch of different things. Everything's becoming like more subscription focused, which is to do with consumerism and making sure that everyone's like they keep their customers, and they try and do different things to try and make sure everyone's engaged in that way. But sorry, but a lot of the time we wonder where our times are going, where our time is going, where our energy is going, and then when you think about it, you look at your bank statement. If you're the guy like me who's the lead owner of their Netflix account, or you got your little tenants in there. If you're the guy like me, where every month you're seeing Netflix come out, Amazon Prime come out, Disney Plus come out, Crunchyroll come out, YouTube Premium come out, and you're thinking like, where's my time going? Like you can see it right there on your bank statement. Like you a fool. Like your bank statement is like showing you where your time is going. But anyway, in terms of like all these subscriptions, they're there to keep you like engaged in the service at all times. They always release new content. They always drop little adverts. You always get them little notifications like this new show is on your thing, this new show is on Netflix, and then you feel obliged to go and watch it because you're subscribed to it. You're paying money, and you might be a bit bored, and then you end up like, especially in this era where everyone's watching shows continuously, you end up like just binge watching things, and your time just flies, and you're wondering where did it go? Like I wanted to do things this year, I wanted to read more books and stuff, and you're wondering where's my time going? So that's one thing, like consume with intention. I want to make sure that I'm only subscribed to what I want to be watching that's good for me. I don't need to be subscribed to 1,000 YouTube channels and add into my watch later list every time. And that's a huge problem with me. On YouTube, you have watch later list, and there's been several times where mine has hit over 1,000 videos because I'm subscribed to so many channels. And then you got all your other TV services and stuff, and you're wondering where's my time going. So I want to try and consume with a bit more intention this year. Make sure that I'm only putting what's inside my brain, what is good for me, and what I think is going to benefit my wider goals. So that's one thing. I think everyone else should also think about that. And then number two, be reliable when called upon. I'm actually going to be doing a challenge where I call someone every day for a month. Someone different every day for a month. That's really challenging for me because I don't know why, but I've always had this huge phone call anxiety, and yeah, I hate phone calls, man. So if you think that you can give me a call at any random moment and I'm gonna pick up, you know what's gonna happen. You're going straight to voicemail, and I hate that feeling. I don't know why. I don't know why at all. So I'm gonna try and beat that by doing these little challenges to kind of build up my habits and break this anxiety. I actually spoke about this to a psychotherapist that we had on our podcast, and she just kind of said that if you want to beat these anxieties, you have to really posture check real quick. Fix your posture. If you want to beat these anxieties, you just have to expose yourself to them more and more. Yeah, that these kind of smaller like levels of anxiety, they're also a thing where is a bit of a fear, and you have to beat it. And you're not gonna beat that by like letting it grow over time. Like you just have to expose yourself more and more to it. So kind of like break yourself in, try and speak to your family more once a day, just little 5-minute conversations. And that's one thing I'm trying to do for myself anyway. And hopefully that will get to a point where I can be comfortable in that regard. And when someone calls me, I'm always there to answer. You also shouldn't feel obliged to always pick up and be on call as if you're working for these people. So like, you shouldn't be on call 24/7. Like if there's an emergency, yeah, but at a certain point you gotta turn off your phone. Like only make it available. For example, on iPhone you can put do not disturb on, and only people in your favorites can call you in that period. So add your family members there, add your friends there, your close friends, and then keep it that way. But you don't have to always be picking up the phone 24/7 for someone. And that's a huge thing, screen time as well. But it's a topic for another day. And then the third one, be someone who does what he's gonna say. What? Be someone who does what he says he's gonna do. I absolutely butchered that, but yeah, a lot of the time, um, we say we're gonna do something and we don't end up doing it, and that usually leads to feelings of discontent, feelings of anxiety, feelings of like not wanting to go and speak to that person you said yes to, and that like adds up to other different things where you don't want to speak to that person. Now you're ignoring them. Now you're also pushing that back in the back of your head, but it's still there. You know it's still there, and it's not gonna go until you deal with it. And a lot of the time, you just let it fizzle out over time, and that really leads to bad feelings. And you want to beat that. You want to make sure that that's not there. And I'm speaking on behalf of myself as well. I want to make sure that if I say I'm going to do it, I do it. And if I don't want to do it, I say no, or I can't do this right now. There's just a lot of different ways of wording things. A lot of people will pressure you into doing some things that you don't really feel comfortable in, or they'll suggest things to you, and then suddenly your brain's like, okay, I'll do it. But you don't really want to do it, and then you don't do it, and then what happens after we already know. So these are just 3 things that I think you should work on, and I think I'm gonna make sure that I focus on this year. I'm gonna be posting various videos throughout the year just to kind of keep on top of that and keep mentioning that and keep on talking about how this can be improved upon. So yeah, number 1, consume with intention. Number 2, be reliable and called upon. Number 3, be someone who does what he says he's gonna do. So yeah, COVID, it messed me up, boy. It kicked my ass. Yeah, as a result, I had the blessing to reflect on that and think about what I want to do this year properly, because all these goals are all good and stuff, but if you don't meet these inner anxieties and these inner fears, they're gonna ruin your life slowly but surely. And that's something that I'm afraid of. I don't want to keep on like being held down by these things that I think are bad for me. So, and I know they're bad for me. So I'm gonna work on them, and I hope you guys can join me in that journey to work on them too. So yeah, in the coming videos, I'm gonna be doing a little. In the coming videos, I'm gonna kind of talk about these things in a bit more detailed, with a bit more examples, and I'm also gonna practice what I preach, hopefully. So you're gonna see one video where I called someone different every month for the month of February, every day for the month of February, sorry. And yeah, once that's wrapped up, I'm gonna talk about my experience, and especially as an introvert from like myself, I feel like a lot of us suffer from that. So yeah, in the meantime, we're gonna be continuously posting videos on a weekly basis, a podcast on a weekly basis, and yeah, go check out my co-host Ray on Instagram, Raymond Roots, and myself, MIVisuals, checking out here. This is my first time recording in a month, so I hope I wasn't too rusty. And yeah, man, stay safe, especially in this period. Honestly, it's not a joke. I'm seeing like people dying every day, like deaths in family, deaths in friends' families, and it's really sad, honestly. So really, like, keep on following the rules, stay safe, but try and relax a bit in your head. Forgive yourself for not being too productive. You don't have to be productive 24/7. Try and relax a bit. It's not easy. Try and do your best to just be easy on yourself. And don't let the weird expectations of yourself that you built up over the years like ruin your mental health. You have to look after yourself. Make sure that you're eating good, eating clean, but every now and then eat some junk food. Feel good about yourself. And yeah, if you want to binge watch some shows, do that. But ultimately, try and think about how you're gonna break out of that. Rest up, stay safe, stay creative, and I'll see you guys in the next video.